Welcome to the kids' table.
You are the luckiest kid.
A magical place.
Can I use my mage hand and then poke it at one of the guards?
Where dice roll.
20. You got a nat 20?
Yeah.
Heroes rise and villains fall.
Wait, let me practice. Hold on.
And most importantly, where kids are in charge of the story.
That's why you never doubt kids.
Kids power.
But what will happen in this next chapter?
And what's happened in the last 2 years? Find out on
The Kids' Table.
On the hilltop, outside of Crane's Rest, Sophia, Serena, Sixtails, V, and Rosalie defeated the agent of the god of power, Alianto,
Yay!
in what came to be known as the Battle of Three Dragons.
3?
Very quickly after the Battle of Three Dragons, a number of things happened. The first thing that happened was that the gods stopped speaking to the people. This was significant because the gods had been speaking to the people for as long as the people could remember. Through clerics, through the priests, through prayers and divinations, the gods, both the major gods and the lesser gods, had been speaking the entire time, and suddenly they went silent. You know why one of the gods went silent. You know why Ismiene is silent.
Yeah.
Ismiene has been sealed away. The other gods, though, were not sealed away, and you know this for 2 reasons. First, Sophia, your magic still works. You still have a connection to Moriwardas. You are still able to ask for spells, you are still able to perform magic. You just don't hear from Moriwardas anymore. This is different from Ismiene, from the lore keepers, who are the ones who follow Ismiene. Their magic no longer works. They cannot cast spells. They do not have a source to draw magic from. And you also know this because when you go into the spire at Crane's Rest, and you see the wheel that shows all of the symbols of the gods, it's only those 4 that are still grayed out, Ismiene's and the 3 that you don't know. All of the rest of the gods, including Moriwardas, appear to be there. You just can't hear from them anymore. About a month after the Battle of Three Dragons, refugees started to arrive on Japania's shores. Boats filled with people from other kingdoms, other continents, escaping what they called the March of the God of Power. It seems that Crane's Rest wasn't the only town marked as ripe. And on those boats have come farmers, fishermen, nobility, commoners, and assassins. You have turned back more than a few attempts on Seren's life specifically. It seems as if the God of Power and the God of Secrets have taken a specific interest in followers of Ismiene. That was 2 years ago. What have you been doing in the last 2 years, I wonder? Sixtails.
I've been running around in every spire that I meet. I go into it and I check around for the control system and see if it works.
Okay. So, over the last 2 years, Sixtails, you have been working with Seren to map out other locations of spires, and you have gone on various quests with some of your friends, with your mom, to explore these spires, and you've discovered 5 others.
Ooh.
In addition to the 2 that you already know about. And every time you are able to enter them with the divine shapes that Saran had made. And every time you're able to go in there, and every time it's the exact same thing.
But the elevators don't work.
Well, they work. The spires work. You can see that the flashing lights that are in there still do things. There are still panels of lights that show symbols sliding by. They're doing something. You just can't manipulate them anymore. And when you access the bracelets in each of those locations, the bracelet that at Crane's Rest had changed your mom into a dragon, the bracelets of transformation, those don't work either. Serena.
Well, first, I decided to go to the forest and live a peaceful life. I like to meditate, and I found this monk one day, and he decided to teach me martial arts. And I learned a lot from him, and I found a pet monkey.
Okay.
What's the name of my pet monkey?
Bananas.
Bananas the monkey. Okay. I love that. We didn't plan any of that in your character when we leveled you up. But what I will say is, Serena, you had tended towards illusion magic when you were initially learning magic
About
spells.
the size of this table.
When you were,
6.
making cupcakes with a face and dragons. You were making pictures. But through talking with this monk, getting to know the monk's ways, you opted not to continue studying illusion, did you?
No.
What kind of magic are you studying now?
I want to be speedy and fast.
So you have become what is called a wizard of enchantment. You decided that you wanted to try, instead of fooling people with illusions, to manipulate them in a different way, charm them, or dissuade them, things like that. From that monk is where you learned one of your new powers, the hypnotic gaze, which lets you paralyze somebody right next to you with just your eyes.
So you can paralyze.
And when you leave the forest and you leave bananas behind,
I go to my bakery.
you go home to your bakery where your mom has been. Sophia, what have you been doing in the last 2 years?
I have been running the bakery
Okay.
with my husband Sebastian and my son Samuel, who we call Sammy. Unbeknownst to Serena, I've also been seeing the same monk. And that monk has been helping me learn how to focus my energy better so that I can be better at casting spells or healing or sensing things. And I definitely have had lots of concerns. So I've been meeting with other clerics to understand why the gods have not been speaking. So I've been keeping my eye on that, but all the while trying to run the bakery and just keep that going, while also training up. My husband and I have both been training up Samuel in the meanwhile during the last 2 years.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, Sebastian and Samuel, where were they 2 years ago? Were they captured in Crane's Rest?
Oh, when I escaped.
When you and Sophia left,
Yes.
did you leave them behind?
We left them behind.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah.
How could you leave your kids?
How good,
I mean, you left your family behind.
Can I give a little tidbit about
Please.
Sebastian's background? So
Please.
I left them behind because Sebastian has a history of being in an army. So I felt confident leaving him behind with Samuel. But Sebastian's full, complete known history and lineage is unknown, even to me.
So, one of the other things that you three have been doing over the last 2 years is you have been meeting regularly with Seren. You and V and Rosalie have come into Seren's confidence because you saved him and then helped him and then showed him that the boundaries of what he knew were so much smaller than what the world actually is. And given that his patron goddess, Ismiene, brought you all together and then was sealed away, he has taken that as a sign to keep the 5 of you close. So, over the last 2 years, you all have taken rotating positions in guarding Seren. Knowing that the God of Power initially was going after Seren and the God of Secrets, you all are still following Ismiene's directive and making sure that Seren is safe. Kaz stays with Seren constantly now, an additional layer of protection. Yeah. And it's 2 years after the Battle of Three Dragons that the 5 of you are at Seren's house in Japan, the capital city of Japan. And Seren says to you,
Can you do his voice anymore?
we'll find out. Seren says, so, I don't know what it is we're supposed to do next. Did you miss Seren?
So much.
But one of the things that I've been paying attention to is the fact that, well, I haven't seen any followers of Ismiene in a long time. Like in 6 or 7 months. Like, it seems like everybody's gone underground, gone into hiding. Which feels weird because nobody's told me. I think that you need to find one of the clerics, one of the old clerics of Ismiene. In fact, I think that you need to find the bibliothecary.
Huh?
Bibliothecary. Is that not a word that you know? That's not a word that you know?
That does not compute.
Oh, okay. The bibliothecary was the high priest of Ismiene's temple. Why are you looking at me like that?
So who is the bibliothecary?
He tells you who the bibliothecary is. The presiding bibliothecary is the high priest of Ismiene, the one who would commune regularly with her. If anybody's going to know what has happened to the followers of the Way of Knowledge, as he says it would be him. I think that this is important because, well, if we're going to get her back, and we do want to get her back, right? Mm-hmm. If we're going to get her back, we gotta, figure out where she is. And I bet the bibliothecary would know that, I think. I think that's what you should do.
Okay.
V and Rosalie decide to stay behind. They decide, of the 5 of you, it's their turn to stay in Chapania and to guard Seren. And so they send the 3 of you off. But before Seren sends you off, he pulls you and you aside and says, okay, look, I've been studying the spires for the last 2 years, and I think I've got something that I want to teach you. You've been learning some magic, I have heard, Six Tails, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep. Using your magic, your new magic to sort of do.
Should I show you what I can do?
You already have, thank you. Yesterday you took the water out of my glass and you made a duck with it. It's very weird. But I want to teach you two little things that you could do around things like the spire. I want you guys to have some tools, some magical tools to deal with that.
Okay.
And so he teaches you the cantrip, on off, and he teaches you the spell, arcane hacking.
I get all.
And that's where you two learn those spells, is from Seren. The last known sighting of the bibliothecary is in the northern forest, beyond the mountains of Chapania. And so the 3 of you say your goodbyes to Seren and V and Rosalie and Kaz.
Stay
And you
safe.
set off into the northern woods. What would you like to do now?
Survival check.
Okay. After weeks of travel, you travel through the mountains north of Trapania into the northern forest. Give me a survival check, Six Tails. First roll of season 2.
I get a D20 and I'm 3. I got a 19, so 22.
Nice. Okay. So, Six Tails, in the last 2 years, your work of finding these spires has paid off.
Yay!
In tracking. You get into the northern forest and you're able to make contact with some of the local settlements. They have whispers of followers of the Way of Knowledge having come through town in the last 7, 8, 9 months. And you're able to track, and you're able to track, and you're able to track. You track 4 days into the forest from the last village that you were in. And you hear a noise. Well, really, you hear a scream.
Oh.
You hear a yell. You hear a chittering noise. You guys come into a clearing. There are a couple of brooks, a couple of small rivers going through this clearing in the trees. And on the far side of the clearing, they see you. Would you like to come to the table? What are you?
Can't really see my face. You can see my mouth basically. Wearing black clothing, a backpack.
And you are right now, you have your daggers in your hands. At his feet, you see an older man who is unconscious. But that's not the thing that really dominates your vision, because he has his back to the man, and his dagger is toward a gigantic spider.
Oh, yay!
And I need you all to roll initiative.
Yay, I get a plot.
Well, that's not good. Spiders, a dying man, and someone with daggers? Oh my.
This happened so quickly.
Will our heroes be able to save this mysterious stranger?
I get advantage.
Why do you get advantage?
Do I?
No.
Or will 8 legs be 2?
Okay.
I do not like their proximity
Great.
to me.
Defend me.
Find out on the next episode of The Kids Table.